Some of you expressed concern about the length of these videos. For your convenience, check out the table of contents on the right-hand side. Feel free to start at the beginning and work your way through the video for some awesome in-depth insights. But if you see what you came for, or just want to see something over that you didn't catch the first time, please feel free. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hey guys, I'm Shaft of the Planning Casting Crew. Welcome to a short episode of Crash Course this week. We have been having some really bad technical difficulties these days with our graphics card in particular. It is actually driving us crazy, and it looks like it may be a little bit before I can afford to buy one. So we are kind of working on, how do we say, outdated equipment. But anyways, we are going to be taking a look today at Zerg vs. Terran. If you want to help us out at Planning Casting Crew with some of these hardware issues we're having, please feel free to check us out on patreon.com/theonlyshaft. You can also check out the link on YouTube. But either way, we will be talking about this build at this point. So far, we're looking at a Zerg vs. Terran build. As you can see from the title, this is going to be a Roach bust. We see currently hatched pull gas, very, very standard opener, nothing out of the ordinary. Though I do love how HyuN is scouting. He sees that there is no add-on at this barracks, which tells him he does need to go ahead and prepare for some reaperage. At 100 gas, HyuN pulls 2 of these guys off extractor instead of just the typical 1. Because of that, it could be Overlord speed. You've seen builds on the channel that suggest doing this for a faster Overlord speed, and then, yada yada, so on and so forth. But in this particular case, it's going to be for the roaches. The roaches. And as you can see, he's showing him the Overlord speed, which is something that some players do like to use, but Yoda can't be 100% sure of that. The gas is still mining, and we see that Yoda not quite going to get that Overlord. Could have been a huge pickup if he did. But either way, we've got the metabolic boost on the way. The queens are coming. This is your very, very typical opener. Here's the zoning with the queens. And this is just going till about 6 minutes here. We'll fast forward it there for your pleasure. And you can see the queens parked. Want to talk about this a little bit. The queens are parked right here on this ramp, and the lings are patrolling this area. Now the queens, if they were here, could not guard this area. Likewise, if they were here, they can't guard this area. Using the lings with this patrol formation, ingenious. And around 6 minutes, you should be reaching the 44 supply mark. You can see that HyuN has been sitting there quite comfortably for a little while now. Let's actually rewind that good 13 seconds and see just how long he was sitting there. 43, and then he reaches the 44 around 5 minutes and 40 seconds. But at the 6 minute mark, you do go ahead, and this is when you're going to be sending out this 3rd expansion. He also will be sending the rest of these drones to gas. Boom. And finally, he's going to build another extractor, and that's going to be here. So at the 6 minutes is where he really begins working on the gas development here, and immediately you see that at 6:30 he's beginning the Roach Warren, and he's getting another queen. The extra, well, he will be. And this extra queen is going to be nice for this Banshee. You can see that it's going to be a cloaked Banshee, and Banshee is a very common follow-up to Reaper. At the highest level, you'll see players trying to skip the Banshees and stuff like that because it does deter from the mid-game comp of the Terran. But at the level of the average StarCraft player watching this video, just go ahead and prepare for the Banshee. If you don't have it, if they don't send it, you're not going to be that far behind, because players get stuck in this, well, if I build a queen or I build a spore to prepare for this, prepare for that, then I'm not as far ahead as I could be. And that's true. But the problem with that way of thinking is that it doesn't take into account you are playing ladder 9 times out of 10, and bizarre stuff happens on ladder. So preparing for the most common possibilities will definitely pay off in the end mathematically. You might lose one game, but win 10 games for it. The net gain will be better. Hopefully that makes sense. Regardless, we are moving to the 6 minutes 45 second mark. That is going to be when the layer gets popped, and we'll be getting 2 more extractors. As you can see, those are thrown down as well. And the Lings are going to run here into the main and natural, trying to get a scout off. He saw the tech lab. He actually saw that it was moving. And as you'll see, he responds quite passively. I mean, you're not really seeing anything. He's already got the queens. He's got the layer on the way. He can throw up an overseer as needed. He's not worried about taking any damage from this. As you can see, he's also got the roaches. The thing about banshees is that they're great for roach defense, but if they're being offensive, then the roaches can wreak havoc at home. He's going to defend the banshee just by attacking, and you'll see that. But he does get the layer. The queens are at home just in case. But anytime you see a banshee, you should at least think in your head, this is an option, because this is a very greedy build. Let's actually pause for one more moment, and let's take a look at exactly what the Terran has. He's about 10 workers behind his opponent. He's only on 2 bases to HyuN's 3rd. So when I'm saying greedy, it's not economically greedy. He does have mules, so his minerals are out the wazoo. He is getting a 3rd base here at 8 minutes, and it's kind of the purview of Zerg to do that. Which means the Zerg will be needing to take a 4th within the next minute or 2. But this is a really greedy build. What units exist here for the Terran? 1 Reaper, 6 Hellions. All 6 Hellions are right here. 2 Marines. That's all that's at home. 2 Marines, 1 bunker, a couple supply depots, a piece of debris, some SCVs, and maybe a mule. This, my friends, is a greedy build. He has cut so much production to get this Banshee. He's had to cut stuff. Watch. We're going to fast forward this at 8 times speed, but look. Right now, a meching player is going to be getting another factory. A bio player is going to be getting more barracks, stim pack upgrades, a lot of different stuff. You can let your opponent kill himself when he goes for shenanigans like this. And that's essentially what Yoda has done here. HyuN did a great job spotting it, identifying it, and then exploiting it. Am I saying to roach all in every game? No. The whole idea of these all-in builds that we've been pushing on the channel recently is that Zerg is a defensive race, but that doesn't mean you have to be predictable. If you see a weakness, if you smell and taste blood and you want to feel it between your teeth, I feel like Zerg should have the tools to do so. But let's teach the Zergs how to spot the blood in the water. Well, this is blood in the water. This is able to happen because of the little bit of scouting that we saw from HyuN when he scouts up here. You see, he saw the starport, he saw the tech lab. He's already seen this, so he knows it's in production, he knows it's coming. But he's annoying. He's still going to follow up. You see the Lings coming in? He's making sure Yoda hasn't canceled. Because Yoda could have shown him the tech lab, and then once the scout spotting had occurred, cancel it. That's not going to be efficient for Yoda, but HyuN will be stuck in a position where he's defending something that's not actually going to come, and that's going to throw HyuN off. So HyuN is smart, and he's going to go in for another scout. He sees that the Banshee still in production, and it's got cloak. This is why it's alright for him to all in. Up till this point here, this is a very standard build. He's sitting on that extra 100 gas, which we were talking about. That's why he mined this with one worker. If he didn't go for the Roach build, he can queue up Overlord speed and get more scouting information, play the macro game. But he tastes the blood. He feels the victory. So he goes for Roaches. This is HyuN after all. But anyways, hopefully you guys are seeing that, this is not a build that's going to work every game you play. It's just an option. It's one divergent path because every build is a starting point. That doesn't mean every build ends in the same location, or even that the same build always has to end in the same location. If your opponent does this, you respond with that. That's what we're looking at here. Now, we see the Roaches have done a very good job chasing the Reaper Hellion back. Or, I'm sorry, those were the Queens. The Roaches have been parked here to defend this third base, and they've chased a lot of the stuff back here. But he's not panicking. He knows that Yoda had to cut his production to get the starport. Upgrades, cut. These upgrades should have started at 7:30. This has set Yoda way, way, way behind. Take a look at what's in production right now. Yes, that third command center is on the way. We've talked about that. But to get that out so early, he's only just now getting 2 barracks. 2 barracks, plus 1, 3 barracks. A factory and a starport. That's all he's got against a Nydus network. Looks like it'll probably be popped around this area. And Roaches. So the Terran, with some good SCV repairs and, some fancy stuff here at this front, he could survive almost anything. Short of Banelings, but Banelings are going to take a lot longer to get out. So Yoda, he's worried. He's really going, please finish barracks, please finish barracks, please finish barracks. But he knows that he's cutting corners and he feels safe in. HyuN, on the other hand, he's got some tricks up his sleeves. And as you can see, the Overseer are going to be completing here. Scouts out the Banshees. And as Glial Reconstitution completes, we have the Roaches moving on across the map. Even with those barracks now beginning to complete, they still don't really have their add-ons. They're just now popping over to the add-ons. And without add-ons, barracks aren't that good. But add-ons take forever to complete. So again, Yoda, not with the strongest army in the world. Now he's got the Hellions here, he's got the Banshees to defend this front, and the Roaches are keeping the front occupied. More Roaches are going to be flooding in, but he's not trying to get too greedy. He's throwing the Queens into the mix to throw the Banshees back, and he's got that Overseer around here somewhere. There we go. Here's the first Nydus worm that has popped out. That's how the Queens got there, and this will mostly be reinforcements from here on. But notice where this Overseer is positioned. And right here on this high ground, we will be seeing another Nydus worm. There it goes right there. And see, the SCVs have actually been scouting around for this, saying, oh god, where's the Nydus worm? But the Nydus worm's at the front. The front one's kind of a distraction. Like, here's my attack, here's my reinforcements. This isn't some gimmicky build where I have to get it inside your main. No, I'll put it outside your base and still assault you. But he's got the Nydus worm. He's already spent those resources. So why not throw another one up there? And here we go. The bunker does fall, but the Roaches are having a hard time in those close quarters. He's doing a good job target firing the Hellions, but the tanks just obliterating the Roaches at the front. But this Nydus network going to be popping, and he's immediately throwing the Roaches out. He's got 3 Roaches in there with a Queen, and this is the kind of attack he needed. It's not that many Roaches initially, but they are beginning to flood in immediately now. And this is pretty much all she wrote. The siege tanks are a great touch, but they're good at the front. They're good with strong positioning. Once the Roaches are at your barracks line, it's GG. Yoda's right. Anyways, guys, this is Shaft and Pennycastle Crew. Hopefully you liked this recording, this episode of, Crash Course. But if it's a little glitchy, if the sound's not quite right, or if the FPS is dropping, or any myriad of things that could have gone wrong, my apologies, guys. I had a great graphics card. It burned out on me. Had a backup graphics card. It was having driver issues last week or so and finally failed. So I'm on the backup of my backup. But I'm still trying to make the show work. I'm still trying to bring you the best quality that I possibly humanly can. If you are in a position to help us out, please check us out on patreon.com/theonlyshaft. This is something we really desperately are going to need to keep this show going. I don't know how much longer these backups are going to keep working, and I'm still a little bit a ways from our goal. I work a full-time job, and I've got bills and stuff to pay, but I throw in what I can to this graphics card fund, but it's kind of hit us all in a hurry here. So I'm doing what I can. Hopefully you guys will bear with me. Please give this a like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Hopefully the information was well worth any Murphy's Law that might occur. Bye-bye, guys.
신앙 선수가 되는 거고요.
그렇죠.
멀티에 방해도 받지 않으면서 안전하게 해주고 있는 모습인데 맹독충의 스피드업이 되기 전에 즉 전방 위에서만 싸워야